So if you have never used an AI camera like this before, as a car reversing camera, then you are definitely not going to believe the benefits you will achieve by doing so. Seriously, installing and setting up a device like this at the rear of your car is quite possibly the best decision you could make when you require extra help with the reversing and parking of your vehicle. And let's be honest, at times we all do. It really is that good. Okay, and reverse gear is now engaged. And notice how fast this AI camera has displayed and detected all of the objects from around the rear of my car for me, and from all angles as well. Every object that could become a potential hazard to me when I'm reversing my car has been very clearly marked and displayed not only visually, but as you can hear, audibly as well. So can a reversing system for your car get any better than this? No. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hello and welcome to the channel, and I hope you like today's video. If you like car technology content, then hit that subscribe button because that's what you're going to see on this channel. Okay, so in today's video, I'm reviewing another car reversing camera. Now, yes, this is a low cost and also very affordable reversing camera, but for that price, this camera does perform unbelievably well. It's also reliable, stable, not to mention extremely clever. No, this is not just another ordinary car reversing camera, even though it looks like it. I mean, they all look the same. It's actually a really intelligent reversing camera, and that's because it's AI controlled. And as you're about to see, the way this camera has been designed to work is pretty amazing technology. Okay, so this here is the Smart Hour AI controlled intelligent car reversing camera. It's designed for 12-volt vehicles only, and it can be used with your car's factory installed multimedia head unit, Android Auto, CarPlay, etc. Providing, of course, that your car's multimedia system does have a composite RCA video input as well. However, in saying that, it is also even more important to mention that this camera will only work with display screens that support AHD, 1080p, and at 25 frames per second. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so this is a AHD camera, which, yes, is now an extremely common video standard being used with car reversing cameras these days, and it stands for analog high definition. It's the newer video standard that has replaced the older analog video standards, such as PAL, NTSC, CVBS. However, AHD is still analog as well, obviously. It's just the latest technology that is currently being used, and with much bigger benefits as well. However, with this particular camera here, unlike some other cameras, this one here has only been designed to work with a display screen that can support, firstly, the AHD video standard, and secondly, an image resolution of 1080p and at 25 frames per second. Now, video technology can be a complicated topic, yes, and that's not what today's video is about, so I'm not going to go into any further depth with that, but instead I'm going to keep things as simple as possible for you to understand, and I'm going to do that by using this example here. Okay, so this is the display screen of my Android Auto, and there is a option here, which is a video camera input option that says AHD 1080p slash 25 FPS. And that is good because that means this AI camera is going to work perfectly with my particular multimedia system, and it does. However, if I chose this option here above it, which says AHD 720p slash 30 FPS, or even the one below that, which says AHD 1080p slash 30 FPS, or any of these other options as well, actually, then this camera would not work, as my display screen will not be able to display the image from the camera in the correct format that is required. So if this reversing camera was not supported by my multimedia display screen, but I decided to ignore this and all the specs and power it up anyway, no, it would not damage the camera, but instead it would have millions of grey pixels flashing all over the place, or grey lines and thick bars shown through the displayed image, making the camera image basically not viewable and completely unusable. So if you are watching this video and you decide you're going to purchase and install this particular AI camera yourself, the first thing I would highly recommend you do is check the display settings of your car's multimedia system first. Because if it does not have this option that supports AHD 1080p at 25 frames per second, then you would not want to purchase this particular camera, because it is definitely not going to work. So please do keep this in mind before spending your money to avoid any disappointment. This Smart Hour AI camera also has a very wide viewing angle of 180 degrees, and that's from its advertised fisheye lens as well. Of course, 180 degrees is a great viewing angle to have for a car reversing camera, especially if you're comparing it to a lot of the other car reversing cameras, which generally only have a viewing angle of 140 to 170 degrees. Of course, there are a few of the more expensive brands that advertise viewing angles of around 200 degrees or more. But for the low price of this camera, and considering it's also got AI technology in it as well, I am more than happy with the 180 degrees viewing angle for the price. The image resolution is of course 1080p. It's not 4K, nor is it 2K either. But the image quality is definitely, in my opinion, more than acceptable as well for a low price camera. I have found registration plates on other cars to be very clear and easy to read. So good visibility like that is really more than you need with a reversing camera, to be honest, as this camera is only in use when you're reversing the car anyway. It is not working all the time, nor is it recording full time like a dash cam is. The camera also has this great little mounting bracket attached to it as well. That has little plastic teeth designed on the side of it, so when you adjust the angle of the camera, it locks into place quickly and easily, like this. You can probably see and hear it clicking on camera as I move it. So that does make the job a lot easier. This is fantastic actually, when compared to 99% of the other cameras that require you to tighten up the screws on the side of the camera, so the camera is secured in place. You will need to do that with this camera as well. As you can see, it does have screws on the side of the camera, but you only need to do this after the angle has been set and locked into place, which is great. Now, because this is an AI controlled reversing camera, this is where things now start to get interesting. And I mean really interesting. Starting with this, which yes is a external buzzer, and with two adjustable volume levels as well. Low, high, and you can even turn it off altogether as well if you want to. This buzzer just plugs into the main wiring harness of the AI camera itself. But what would you want an external buzzer connected to a camera for? Well, because this buzzer has been designed to work with the built-in AI technology to alert you when any object is detected behind your vehicle, but audibly, and it works incredibly well, as you're about to see. Now, a lot of you will already know what a ultrasonic parking sensor system is. For example, like this here, installed to the rear of my Alfa Romeo. It's an electronic system that generally has a total of 4 ultrasonic sensors installed to the rear bumper of the car, and sometimes another 4 to the front of the car as well. And it's designed to detect objects to assist you when you're trying to reverse or park your car. This system here is factory installed by Alfa Romeo, but there are hundreds of different aftermarket kits available now that you can purchase and install to your car yourself. Of course, you will need to be extremely confident working on your car to do this, as it's not an easy job to do for the amateur. I have actually reviewed one of these ultrasonic parking systems before, so if you're interested in seeing the work involved in installing that, you will find that video on this channel. So anyway, ultrasonic parking sensor systems have been installed on cars for decades now, and they work incredibly well. Of course, technology has now advanced even more, and a lot of cars these days are now installed with blind spot monitoring systems as well. These blind spot monitoring systems have also been designed with rear parking system features built into them as well. So when an object moves behind your car, it will let you know this by flashing a light, or in my case, this LED strip that goes down the side of the A-pillar of the car here. You can find out more about this particular blind spot monitoring system from the video that is currently attached to the homepage of my YouTube channel if you want to. It seems to be incredibly popular with a lot of you, as it has now had thousands of views. Anyway, while a blind spot monitoring system can work well when you're reversing your car, it definitely does not work as well as a ultrasonic parking sensor system does. And the big reason for that is because a blind spot monitoring system is really only designed for detecting moving objects, where an ultrasonic parking sensor system can detect an object that is moving as well as an object that is not moving. If you have seen my blind spot monitoring videos on my YouTube channel, specifically the last one I just mentioned before on the homepage, then you will have seen and will know how well a blind spot monitoring system works if using it solely as a reversing system. I have never recommended using a blind spot monitoring system as a reversing or parking system, and to be honest, I still don't. So am I saying that an ultrasonic parking sensor system like this is the best option to choose for the reversing and parking of your car? Well, if you have been following this channel for a long time, then you will already know that for reversing and parking, I have always recommended using an ultrasonic parking sensor system in combination with a camera as well for the perfect parking and reversing system. But you know what, today my opinion on that is changing, and that's because this AI controlled reversing camera works so unbelievably well that you seriously no longer need an ultrasonic parking sensor system installed to the rear of your car anymore. And that's because this camera alone is not only basically a ultrasonic parking sensor system, but without the ultrasonic sensors of course, but it's also a reversing camera built into the one package. But it's even better, and that's due to how well the AI technology works with this, resulting in incredible object detection capabilities, which I have honestly never seen this good before with any other parking system. It is so good, so actually now is a really good time to demonstrate this to you, so you can see for yourself how well this actually works. Okay, so here I am, parked as close to the side of the road and footpath as possible, so you can study carefully everything that the AI camera detects while I continue talking. Reverse gear is also engaged, of course, but unfortunately it has also just started to rain, which is incredibly annoying as it's going to result in less activity happening on the footpath, which I really wanted to be visible in the demonstration as well for you, but oh well, you can't have everything. As you hopefully will start to see though, all objects that are being detected, which is of course everything that is really important in regards to you reversing or trying to park your car, are marked, displayed and highlighted in a yellow box. And of course, followed with audible warnings from the external buzzer that you can also hear as well. Now, from my experience with testing this AI reversing camera so far, for me it has detected trucks, buses, cars, cyclists, motorcyclists, people walking, running, people on scooters, skateboards, and lots of other things. And this has all been from a reasonable long distance as well. As you can tell, it's detecting quite a lot of activity at the moment, which is good. I thought the rain was going to put an end to that, but so far everything's working out well. So yes, it's great at detecting large objects, as you can see, which it's been designed to do. However, with smaller objects and from a long distance, just like ultrasonic parking systems and blind spot monitoring systems, these small objects can sometimes go undetected. When these smaller objects are closer though, to the camera, of course they will then also be detected as well. These smaller objects I'm referring to are generally things such as animals, so dogs, cats, etc. But it's important to realize that the larger objects that are being detected because that's the type of object that the AI has been designed to detect. Remember, AI is a technology that does differ from product to product, all depending on what the product does and has been designed to do. As an example, obviously the AI used in a, for example, ADAS dash cam may be designed to detect road signs, traffic lights, intersections, etc. Of course, the AI designed and used with this reversing camera is not going to detect any of those things because this device has not been made to do that. In my last video, I reviewed this car security dash cam up on my windscreen here, which you probably can't see in this view. But the AI of that product was designed to detect more so human movement rather than larger objects such as cars, etc. So what I'm saying is, if a device's AI does not detect every single object, it's probably been purposely designed that way. It is not a fault with the actual device or the technology itself. So anyway, as you can see, this AI camera will detect objects on both sides of the road, moving and not moving. So large objects like people and cars can be parked or they can be moving, and this is exactly what you want as well. You want the camera to detect and inform you of any objects that could become a problem or a potential safety hazard, which could result in an accident when you are reversing your car. Now, as you may have also noticed, a yellow car symbol or a yellow person symbol are also displayed in the top corner of the display here as well. When an object is detected to also let you know what type of object that audible sound is referring to. Of course, it does detect multiple objects at the same time as well, which can make that feature a little bit interesting at times. And for that reason, I usually just ignore the symbols, but they are there to use when you want them. Now, you may have also noticed these little flashing boxes that keep appearing. I know on camera this is going to be very difficult to see, and to be honest, it's not a lot better for me looking directly at the screen either. Actually, let me try and zoom in a little bit better before I continue on further. Okay, now hopefully this is a more clearer and better example for you to actually see. So what this box actually is, as you probably guessed, is the distance that the camera has measured between your car and the detected object. Unfortunately, from my experience, it has not been incredibly accurate, especially over a long distance, nor is it that easy to read either on screen, even if it's even worse on camera. But especially when objects are more than 1 meter or further away from you as well. This measured distance feature seems to work over a range of up to 1.2 meters max. And when a detected object is further than 1.2 meters away from you, it will just display it as 1.2 meters anyway, regardless of the actual distance. I assume it has been purposely designed this way because you're using this camera as a reversing camera only. So this is not an extremely important feature to be accurate, to be honest, for any objects that are a long distance away from you anyway, and that you are not reversing up to. So this is not really a bad thing, because this feature is only needed for objects that are extremely close to you. Example, when you're reversing the car up to the actual, or up to another car that is behind you, or a person, or any type of object in general. Now, because this is a reversing camera, and what you have seen so far are not examples of me reversing the car, and they weren't meant to be either, it would still be a good idea to include this in the review as well. So I'm going to add a couple of examples of that now. So first of all, I'm going to put the car into reverse gear again. Okay, and this time the AI camera has detected the car directly behind me. So I'm going to back up to that car now and see how well this works. Okay, it did a great job of that. It still detected the car, obviously just a lot closer now. Obviously this distance thing is not the greatest feature with this particular camera, but it does still kind of work. But to be honest, I think you're better off just using the AI stuff rather than the measurements itself. Um, okay, so the camera has detected that the car is parked directly behind me. That is in a straight line though. So let's try another example now of me reversing again, but this time at an angle to see how well that works. Okay, this time I am parked in a car space off the road at approximately a 90 degrees angle from the road itself. So this time I'm going to have to back out onto the road. Of course, as far as safety is concerned, you would class this as more of a higher risk than the last example, where the car was just directly behind me on the side of the road. So let's see how safely the AI camera makes this job for me. So let's engage reverse gear again now. Okay, it's detected a car on the other side of the road. There's this car coming up the road now. That would have been extremely important to know about, so that's done a good job there. And these two cars down the side here are just cars that are parked next to me, which are no safety hazard to me whatsoever. So let's start reversing out and see what happens. Oh, there's a van coming up. It detected that, which is good. And there's a big Jeep behind that. Let's reverse out now. Perfect. So it detected everything that was important. So I would class that as another successful job done by the AI camera. Well done. So you have probably also noticed that this AI camera seems to also support parking guidelines. And yes, it does. However, these parking guidelines are also not adjustable at all. So that's horizontally or vertically. They are basically just fixed in place at all times. No, they do not bend or move either when you turn the car, and that is simply because this is not a dynamic trajectory camera at all. It's just a AI camera. Night vision, however, is supported with this AI camera, and no, it's not infrared night vision either. It is full color, as you can see. It's not that bad either, to be honest, especially for a low-cost 1080p camera. I have seen a lot worse, but if comparing it to all the other 1080p cameras I have reviewed, I suppose it is again about the same as the others. And that's exactly what I would have expected as well, as the AI technology does not really have much effect when it comes to high quality resolution and rendering. The night vision of this camera, in my opinion, is definitely more than acceptable. Now, in regards to the installation of this AI camera, it's also very easy to do, as 90% of the installation is pretty much plug and play. So you will of course first need to mount the camera to the rear of the car. That can be done with both the adhesive tape and little screws that are supplied with the kit in the box. You then need to connect the composite RCA video output of the camera to your car's multimedia display video input, which you just use the supplied video cable here to do. So you just plug one end into the camera and plug the other end into the back of your multimedia system. You will of course also need to mount the external buzzer somewhere as well, and remember to turn the switch on as well. You can very comfortably mount the buzzer in the rear of the car. By the way, you definitely don't need to worry about not being able to hear it, especially if you have the buzzer set to high volume mode. Believe me, it is incredibly loud, as you may have picked up on in the video as well. So anyone moving outside behind your car will also hear it as well. And that's actually a good thing for safety. However, the entire street will probably also hear it as well. And that may be a bad thing, especially if you and your neighbors don't get along very well. Yes, it's seriously that loud. So for that reason, you may want to start off with setting it to low mode to experiment with first. I suppose if you don't see any of your neighbors walking up your driveway with a baseball bat, then I would assume the volume level you have set it to is acceptable for everyone. And the buzzer just simply plugs into the camera harness here. So just plug that in like that, and the buzzer is all set up. Now, lastly, you will need to connect the power cable adapter as well. And where is that? That's just over here, which is this one here. So that will plug into the DC power connector of the camera like that, and you are then left with two wires. So the black wire needs to go to a good chassis ground, and the red wire needs to go to the positive side of your reversing light. So that's the wire that will measure positive 12 volts with your multimeter, but only when reverse gear is engaged, of course. And once that's all done, your AI reversing camera is now ready to use. And that has now just about brought us to the end of another video. So this is my review on the Smart Hour AI reversing camera. And honestly, it's a great little device as well. That, as you have now seen for yourself, works very well, and especially for such a low cost camera as well. By the way, in this video, all the audible alerts you have heard up to now from this AI camera buzzer so far have been with the switch on the buzzer set to high mode. To finish off this video, I have just moved the switch of the buzzer to low mode, so you may also be able to hear a difference with the volume for the audible alerts starting from now. Anyway, speaking of cost just before, what is the price of this AI camera anyway? Okay, so at the time of this review, it's going to cost you about 52 New Zealand dollars, plus tax and shipping, of course. And I think for that price and the technology you get, that's a really good deal as well. Like I said before, this AI camera eliminates the need of having an ultrasonic parking sensor system altogether. You seriously do not need it anymore at all. This AI camera alone is the best type of reversing system you could ever want for your car. It seriously does work exceptionally well. It's incredibly good at detecting objects, but in my opinion, having the addition of the external buzzer in the background is a huge benefit as well. And that is actually one of my favorite features with this particular AI camera, is before I actually got this camera, I did not expect it to have audible alerts as well. And this feature really does make it as good as it is. Yes, being able to see what is behind you is extremely important as well, and you will achieve that result by using any other type of reversing camera as well. But combining a camera with audible notifications and then with the extra addition of the AI technology as well is what really makes this reversing camera really stand out for me. It is seriously the perfect combination, and if you're looking for a really good reversing system to install to your car, I would honestly recommend this over any ultrasonic parking sensor system and definitely any blind spot monitoring system. If using it strictly for reversing only though, of course. Blind spot monitoring systems are great, but I just don't recommend them for reversing. Of course, you could use this camera at the front of your car as well, if you want to. That's also a good idea actually, but it's advertised as a reversing camera, so I just stuck with that for this video as well. It's of course also a lot better to use than just any standard reversing camera in general as well that doesn't have AI technology. This is definitely the way to go for the perfect car reversing system, in my personal opinion. So well done to Smart Hour. You have done a really great job with this device. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video here now, and thank you so much for watching. For anyone who is interested in purchasing one of these Smart Hour AI controlled reversing cameras for themselves, I have put a link in the description area below for you. If you liked this video or found it helpful, then please like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel, where you can watch even more car tech videos. And I hope to see you all in the next video.